What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. In this video we're going again from downtown Los Angeles down to Irvine. I just downloaded and installed the latest update, so we'll see how Tesla Autopilot does on this drive down to Irvine in morning rush hour traffic. Let's get into the video. Thanks for watching another video guys. If you're new here, my name is Dennis. I have a Tesla Model 3 and a Nissan GTR, and I make videos about my experience. So if you're interested in any of that, please hit that subscribe. Man, so it's definitely pretty bright today, and of course my windshield is pretty dirty. Sorry about that guys. In terms of the conditions out, it's on the colder side, 64 degrees, pretty bright, but there are clouds in the sky, but the sun is just shining right through. Hopefully it won't really impede any of the cameras on our autopilot drive down, and hopefully the Tesla doesn't make too many glitches on our way down to Irvine. A little bit of traffic here, going 59 miles an hour on a cruise control speed setting of 60 miles an hour. This is the latest update as of the time of this recording. I just installed it. This is version 10.2 2021.4.11, and it was really just minor bug fixes, really no other changes to the UI or anything like that. In terms of Tesla news, Elon just stated that he's going to allow more downloads of the new full self-driving beta, and you're going to be able to request it within the UI that you want the beta to download it. So I think there's a little bit of confusion. I thought you would just be able to download it directly from the UI, but I think the new menu item in the system is you're going to be able to request the download, and then Tesla will decide whether you get the download or not. There was also another email that I saw in which Tesla internal sent out a message to all their call center employees saying that if there's anybody that wants the new full self-driving, they can send an email to a certain address with their VIN, what country they're in, their name, and all their driving habits. So I just went ahead and sent that I do mostly highway, about 80 to 90% of highway driving with a little bit of city to suburb driving, and that I would like the new full self-driving beta release. So hopefully I can get it, and hopefully we can test it and record to see how it does in LA, Los Angeles, rush hour traffic and highways. So we're going about 53 miles an hour. The left lane does seem to be going a little bit faster, but maybe not anymore, as some of the cars ahead seem to be braking a little bit. Autopilot wants to get into the left lane, but I think we're just going to stay in this lane so Tesla can just pace this car in front of us. It's definitely pretty bright out. The sun is just facing directly at the Tesla and this camera. I have my sunglasses on today. I'm probably going to activate the windshield wipers soon, but we're going pretty fast, so what really sucks about cleaning the windshield when you're going this speed is the fluid starts to just drip all over the side windows, and it starts to streak across the windows, so it kind of gets pretty ugly and nasty. So I don't really like to do it anymore when I'm traveling at above maybe 30 to 40 miles an hour. All right, the left lane seems to be pretty open, so let's go ahead and get into the left lane. No cars there, so the Tesla auto lane change did pretty well. Going about 60 miles an hour now, increasing speed. Cruise control speed setting is set to 75, and we should be able to increase speed and close this gap in front of us. Hopefully there won't be too much traffic through this next area, and we should be able to navigate it pretty easily with no glitches. So traffic is flowing pretty nicely this morning. Auto lane change wants to get into the left lane again. We're just following this car on this really bumpy highway in Los Angeles. I started to realize that the Tesla Model 3 suspension is just going to be rough no matter what. And actually, it's not necessarily the Tesla's fault. I actually rode in my friend's SUV down through the Los Angeles highways, and it was also pretty bumpy as well. So really, it's just LA highways to blame, not necessarily Tesla's suspension or any car's suspension. Auto lane change once again in the left lane, so let's go ahead and trigger it. There's no cars in that lane, or it's pretty far back, or the cars are pretty far back, so it was able to go in pretty easily. Going about 71 miles an hour on a cruise control speed setting of 75. Just pacing these cars in front of us, and seems to be traffic is moving pretty slowly both directions, so pretty good. Tesla Autopilot is doing pretty good, and hopefully it won't make any glitches on this ride. A little heavy braking there. Looks like the cars in front of us braked a little bit, but then started to release the brake, I guess. dropped down to about 55 miles an hour. The Tesla Autopilot nag timer also flashed at the same time, but then I quickly appeased it. Now we're increasing speed to 62. Nope, a little bit of more braking again. Oof. That's some heavy braking for a Tesla. Kind of last minute too. Kind of a little scary. That was a little bit scary, I'm not going to lie. It looks like the cars quickly braked in front of us, and I thought Tesla wasn't going to react, but then at the last moment Tesla braked as well. Kind of sudden. I almost thought I could hear the tires chirp a little bit from the braking, but then it slowed down. Those sudden brakes are pretty scary because the cars behind us might not brake as quickly as well, and they might hit us from the rear end, which would just really suck. So I just had to throw it out of the autopilot because every 4th or 5th nag timer, it doesn't like the scroll wheels. It doesn't accept it for being, paying attention. So I had to throw it out of autopilot and throw it back into autopilot, and then increase speed back up to 70 miles an hour. I'm going to increase speed up to 75 miles an hour because that's a pretty good cruising speed, and we should be able to go through this next area without any traffic. This is pretty cool. I'm pretty sure this is a brand new lane on the left side for the HOV, and it's starting to detect some of these cones, even though they're not really like visible cones. It looks like it's just a line on this screen, and in real life it also is a line on that screen as well. So it's pretty cool that it's able to detect those as a different type of cone than a normal type of cone. Going about 76 miles an hour on a cruise control setting of 76 as well, so I'm going to increase that to 80 so that the cars behind me don't get too pissed that I'm on the left lane and not speeding. I actually just hit over the 20,000 mile mark, and I didn't even realize my Tesla Model 3 now has 20,470 miles. I've had this car for over a year and a half now, probably one of the longest cars I've ever owned, and it's been phenomenal this whole time. I probably am going to make a video doing like a 20,000 mile review, totaling up all my costs and thoughts, being a year and a half in, so look out for that video, or please subscribe if you're interested in seeing a video like that. I made one at 10,000 miles, my 10,000 mile review, going through how much I've spent on the car, like the paint protection film in the front and any issues I had. So check out that video if you're interested in seeing my first 10,000 miles and my experience. We are entering the only construction area of my rush hour commute, and I've noticed that every single time I've gone to this area, Tesla Autopilot has been able to navigate it a lot easier without glitches. So let's see how it does today with the sun facing directly at the cameras of the front of the car. So let's see if it makes any glitches. So this is the first area of the construction area. There's lines going to the right, trying to describe what's going on here. It's staying in the lane pretty easily, pretty fine. It wants to get out of this lane, you can see, because I don't know if it thinks, it does think it's a faster lane, but I think it just doesn't want to stay in this lane. Some of the lanes go to the left over there, but it seems to be staying pretty well. It's jiggling back and forth, still staying in the main lanes, following this car in front of us. It was the sun wasn't facing at the cameras in that section, but because of the clouds, but now it's facing directly at it, but we're going straight here. There's really no confusion of the lanes on this section. It's going to curve to the right where the lanes are, but we're going to go to the left. So let's see how Autopilot handles this. You can see the line going to the right there. Cars going to the left, and here's another lane going to the right. Autopilot is handling this pretty flawlessly. We're just staying in the middle lane, no jiggling back and forth, just following this car. We're going 69 miles an hour, so it's handling this area pretty fast. That car just came out of our lane. It's increasing speed a little bit to 73 miles an hour. We're still following the construction area lanes to the right. There was the object on the road right there, a big ass tire, so it was able to not hit that. And now it's hugging the left a little bit as we bank to the right, and then it's hugging the right as we bank to the left. And it was pretty good. I would say Tesla Autopilot handled that section of the construction area on the 5 South pretty easily and with no glitches. So now we should be going into this area with no traffic. Autopilot wants to get into the left lane using the auto lane change, but we don't necessarily need to get into that lane. Cars are moving pretty flawless, or pretty freely here, so we're just going to stay in this lane. a little bit of braking here. Autopilot wants to get into the right lane for some reason, even though we can basically keep going straight all the way down the I-5 South and not make any lane changes at all. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cancel it. It just popped up again to make that same lane change, but I was ready to cancel it, but then it disappeared. So we're going about 79 miles an hour following these cars in front of us, and the nag timer just went off, so I just went and appeased it, and now we're just going 80 miles an hour following these cars in front of us all the way down. So we are about to pass Disney World, and I don't think there's going to be any more traffic after here. So this is where I'm going to go ahead and end it, guys. Thanks for watching another video. Please hit that like if you enjoyed it, and comment below what you thought about the newest update, or if you have any questions on Autopilot, I'd love to answer. All right, guys, thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.